Hi, everyone. It's great to see you here today. I'm Shaylee Fozdar, and I'm here to talk a little bit about Dynamo AI, where we are bringing security and compliance to enterprises. I'm Shaylee. I'm the lead product manager of Dynamo Guard, which we'll be demoing here today. But first, a little bit more about us. So Dynamo AI was founded 3 years ago by a set of privacy and security machine learning experts at Harvard and MIT. Since then, we've grown to over 50 people and have raised over 19 million in funding. Notably, one of our investors is Canopy, which is a consortium of 50 of the top 100 US banks. We've also worked with top enterprises in highly regulated sectors, such as Experian and Lenovo, who we're now working to deploy our solutions fully on device with. So, what exactly does Dynamo AI do? In the past 2 years, we've really seen generative AI applications grow. But with that, we've also seen the security and compliance risks of these applications grow. We've seen models be vulnerable to misuse from malicious actors. We've seen models hallucinate and produce incorrect information. And we've seen models be vulnerable to leaking sensitive PII data. Our goal is to help reduce these risks of generative AI systems to help accelerate Gen AI adoption. We do this with our 3 products, Dynamo Eval, Dynamo Enhance, and Dynamo Guard. Dynamo Eval is really focused on that pre-deployment red teaming of LLMs. Here, we test LLMs for vulnerabilities such as security threats, data leakage, and hallucinations. And we produce automated compliance reports on the results of these tests. Dynamo Enhance is then focused on that AI risk remediation. We are able to resolve some of those vulnerabilities discovered through Dynamo Eval. And finally, Dynamo Guard is our customized guardrail solution that enables you to protect against risky LLM inputs and outputs in real time. So we're demoing Dynamo Guard today, but I'll first give a quick overview of Dynamo Eval. In Dynamo Eval, we have a series of over 15 different tests that we can run. But when we talk to our customers in the public sector, the ones that we see be the most important are our evaluations for data leakage, security, and hallucinations. Our data leakage evaluations assess the vulnerability of your system against being able to leak sensitive information such as PII. Our security evaluations can then assess your system for vulnerabilities such as prompt injection. And what makes us really unique here is that we're constantly updating our database of threats. And we're always able to check whether your model is vulnerable to the newest, latest emerging attacks. Finally, our hallucination evaluation can detect specifically for RAG systems where your model may be having incorrect or misrepresented outputs. In our hallucination evaluations, something that we really work on is making sure that we produce explainable insights. We don't just produce a single numeric score, but we also produce in-depth analysis about why your system may be hallucinating and what may be causing those hallucinations. All of this information for each of these tests is then formatted into an auto-generated test report. This report is created to speak to both technical and non-technical stakeholders. And this report is really created to align with various emerging governmental and regulatory frameworks around AI risk management. Recently, the White House just outlined further requirements in their framework to advance AI governance and risk management and national security. And what we really do is help satisfy that requirement for evaluation and being able to produce those evaluation results. Next, in our Dynamo Enhance product, we can then produce different mitigation strategies for some of the risks that we have seen in our Dynamo Eval tests. And then finally, in our Dynamo Guard product, we really focus on providing custom guardrails for real-time generative AI moderations. What makes us really unique in this space is our ability to really produce customized safeguards against different compliance risks. When we talk to many of our customers in the public sector and the DoD, one thing that they are focused on is this customizability. What we see on the left-hand side is a system where a user provides a prompt saying, what is the effective range for the Archangel radar systems? Typically, this is not something that would be blocked by an LLM or a normal safeguard looking at safety content. But because of our customization, what we're really able to do is create bespoke guardrails for use cases such as blocking the leakage or requests about sensitive data. DynamoGuard also has a suite of out-of-the-box guardrails looking at things like PII leakage, toxic content, vulnerability to jailbreaking, and non-compliant prompts. We're also able to integrate with almost any LLM solution. Another thing that makes DynamoGuard really unique is our performance. There are a lot of existing AI safety and governance tools on the market, but DynamoGuard significantly outperforms its competitors when it comes to being able to detect malicious inputs and model responses. In our prompt injection guardrail, we observe 2x higher accuracy than our leading competitors. And we're able to do this all while having much lower latency than our competitors. This lightweight approach to guardrailing is also what's made us be able to deploy completely on device for some of our partnerships, like our current work with Lenovo, where we're deploying to their ThinkPads. Now, I'll go into a product demo to show you what this looks like in real time. So we'll start out by looking at what this looks like in an actual chatbot scenario. So here in this chatbot, before we get started, what we'll see is that I've created a guardrail to avoid any responses or requests related to political discussion. And what we'll see is that when we provide a general question, like who is the first president of the United States, our model is still able to successfully answer because we've defined the guardrail such that it is still allowed to respond to these types of questions while successfully blocking questions such as who should I vote for, since this is considered a more sensitive political discussion that we don't want to engage in. And now I'll go into how we're able to do this. So on DynamoGuard, we enable our users to create custom content policies. And these policies can be applied to either both model inputs or model outputs. We can also have various types of moderation behaviors attached to these. So we enable our users to decide what downstream actions should occur when they are taking this, when something is violated. So for instance, here we say that we want to block all model responses that are violating our guardrail. Now, to create our policy, we do this completely in natural language. So here we see I'm creating a policy to prohibit political discussion. And I'm just providing a policy title in natural language, as well as a description of the policy I'm looking to create. And really here, this is where you can get as nuanced and as descriptive as you want to be. In this guardrail, I say, okay, I don't want to allow any discussion of political activities. And I can also provide further behaviors describing what should be allowed and disallowed. For instance, I say, allow requests for political and legal definitions, but do not allow requests for political opinions. Due to this natural language input, this is really something that any type of stakeholder can use to create custom compliance guardrails. After this, under the hood, DynamoGuard will synthetically generate a dataset, and this dataset is then used for training our guardrail. In DynamoGuard, what really makes us unique is that we leverage a human-in-the-loop workflow. So as the guardrail creator, you are responsible for going through and evaluating a small sample set of data. After this, we then will generate a larger training data set. And something that really makes our training data set unique here is a variety of edge cases that we're able to synthetically generate that will be leveraged to use in our guardrail. Finally, a key component of Dynamo Guard is our observability tooling. We also provide full insights into the monitoring logs of a system, and this can be used for downstream auditing and compliance. So at a high level, Dynamo Guard and Dynamo AI can really help empower your Gen AI platform team to accelerate their Gen AI productionization. We really do this by providing a single pane of glass in which we can monitor AI systems both pre and post-production. This is all done and can be applied to both in-house solutions that you are developing, as well as third-party AI systems such as Microsoft Copilot and ChatGPT. We have a booth outside, and if you are interested in this, we're happy to discuss our offerings further, and happy to take any questions as well after this. Thank you.